My name's Candide. I'm going to present my go-to-market plan on EduKits Hawaii. So the mission is to provide free place-based STEM educational resource kits to Title I schools here in Hawaii. So the value proposition is these kits are made by teachers, so experts in the field. They're all inclusive, aligned with the standards and the framework that's mandated by the state, and it saves teachers time and money. So I have some activities, such as building the kits, parent engagement, collaborating with schools, professional development. And then some of the key assets are we're educators. So you get our expertise when you're, using the kits, and we're experts in the field. Also, the shipping container that I'm going to convert into like a sustainability center is also an asset. I think it brings awareness to the program and to the school that I work at. And so yeah, those are some key assets. Timeline, starting off with this month. So the plan for this month was to kind of get the most amount of schools in the district that I could. So I've been calling, emailing schools in the Kaimuki, McKinley, Roosevelt area. For next month, the plan is to order the materials, pack the kits to distribute to those schools in August, and also come up with some surveys for the kits for the teachers, pre and post test as well. So then in September, the plan would be to set up the distribution center, which would be the shipping container that I was awarded. And then these down at the bottom were just the steps that I took to achieve those goals and that I will take to achieve the future goals. And then here's a visual on the schools that are definitely on board for wanting kits. So we were at 4 kits last class. I was able to double it and get 4 more schools. The issue, I feel like all the schools would have said yes, but right now, the principals are out because of summer vacation. So I do have to make some more calls. These are just the people that I got in touch with. So 8 out of 8. Started off with 14. And then the ICP, ideal customer profile, is 4th grade because that's the year when students are required to learn about Hawaiian studies per their social studies mandate. And Title I teachers. So that's the whole mission behind the kits, is we're really wanting to help that side of the community because that's where they need it the most. And then location, starting off with Oahu, but branching out to the outer islands. And then the geographical area is just areas where there's high poverty levels. And then, so the ask is we're asking the teachers to take the time to implement the kits in their classroom. That's pretty much it. So we're competing with for-profit kits. So other STEM and SEL companies that make kits. And I have some more info on that in the next couple slides. So what would block customers from using it? So lack of awareness. So marketing would be really helpful to get the word out there. And then this is just cost and supplies. You can take a look at that. And then how to scale up. When we scale up, we'll be ordering more materials and it will be cheaper, but then it'll be great to have the shipping container hopefully in September to store all those materials because it's going to kind of be a lot with all the schools that are interested. So that was kind of my main concern. I didn't want to reach out to too many schools and not be able to deliver. So shoot, can we get rid of this bar at the bottom? How did I do that? Oops. Okay, thank you. So down at the bottom, you'll see our competitors. So Kiwi Kit, Superpower Academy, just in a second, but we're free. So we have that advantage. And then also the things in green are other advantages that we have. We align the Naho Pena A'o initiative, which is a state initiative that the DOE wants all the schools to do. And then also we connect the learning with the content standards. The other kits don't do that. Shoot, not working. Let's see. The battery just okay, good. All right, and then here's the financial statement. So we can start off at year 0 for next year because like this was kind of for the venture competition, but we got second place, so we didn't get the full 10,000. This is what it would be like if we did have the 10,000. But you can see like the line 9 for the grants, for example, how much money we're going to need to raise in grant funding to support our distribution goals. And then some of the marketing channels is Google Ad Grants. So as a nonprofit, we get free ads through Google. So I'm going to work on setting that up, and then also spend more time on social media, and then possibly try to get involved in midweek. Like we had one of the judges from venture competition that we made contacts with that offered to possibly connect us. And then sales outreach, like I said, we did cold calls, emails, speaking to teachers. And then to stay consistent, we want to do like weekly newsletters or even weekly videos to keep people engaged. And when I do have like the test, we can show like the results from the test. And then the cost is little. We're trying to do everything for free. And also just to get the word out, we're going to do professional development, things like that. News interviews. We have a news interview coming up next month. So that's just more exposure for us. And then let's see, ongoing engagement. So yeah, we're just gonna push the marketing emails, hire a marketing person to help with that. Right now it's kind of just me and Sam, and we can only do so much. Eventually I'm gonna have to start going back to work, and I'll have to hire somebody to help out. So mahalo, let me show you guys my website. I did a lot of edits last couple of days on it. So yeah, so this is new. This is a featured kit of the month, the Kukui spinning top. Then I put together this diagram that shows linear angular momentum of the spinning top. So I met with a mentor that I think you guys put me in touch with, and he suggested to do things more graphically. So that's how I put this together. I did the drop down menu. I was able to figure that out. And now it should be a little easier to read. And then also when you click on this, it links to the news page, like Jeff had suggested. I also adjusted the logo a little bit. I tweaked it. I made the waterfalls blue instead of black, like how they were before. So that is pretty much it. And then here's the teacher portal, so teachers can come here directly to sign up. And then I think it was Matthew that suggested to change the underline. Yeah, that was a great tip. Thanks for that. And yeah, that concludes my presentation. Thank you guys.
Hi guys, I'm Matthew, and my company is Nookly. We're a platform to simplify the home service industry. So I myself am a handyman here in Hawaii. This is my website. It's me holding a saw. And in order to get jobs, I had to rely on things like Yelp or Angie's List to get leads. I'm working on marketing, but marketing a small business like this is pretty hard. And even I have a hard time, and I went to school for business. So a lot of the people in my industry don't have any of that training and can't do that type of marketing themselves. So the problem is that I believe that the home service industry hasn't caught up, is like coming and effortless with the having scheduling, sure about the quality you're going to get, as well as exploitation of the providers like me when I've lost thousands of dollars to Angie's List for leads that haven't got me jobs at all. So right now there's like a bunch of steps into getting a job. You have to research, get quotes, make sure they're reliable, schedule, get estimates, and then book, and then even just be ready on the day for the job. With Nookly, we do all the back end work. We find the right people, we vet, we make sure they do quality work, and we'll send them out to you. Just so all that you have to do is tell us what you want when you want it, and we'll get that done for you. Do homeowners want this? The real question. We have to decide if they want it. Otherwise, why start our business? Right now, millennials are becoming the majority home buyers at, I think, 36% right now, and that's only going to go up as they get older. And they use on-demand services like Uber and Uber Eats and stuff like that, much more than the boomers who are aging out of home buying. So this growth is good for Nuclei. Our goal for the summer launchpad was to get a go-to-market plan and finish our app. So actually, I'll go to that now. So this is our current user interface. Once you log in, you can add a house. You put your address, what type of house. You can even put a URL, and it'll put a picture of your house back there. When you click on the house, you have all the recommended services. We have recommended services like during the time of year, during fall, we'll recommend gutter cleaning, or if it's been a while since you've done pest control, we'll recommend that. Down here is what we are offering to start. We're starting with easier jobs that are less likely to be messed up, to just reduce our liability. For each service, there's certain questions we have to ask so that we can provide you a cost. So we want to be able to give you an estimate within a range of the cost that's going to be. Once you answer all the questions, as for movers, there's a lot of questions, but a lot of them are more simple than that. Then from there, it's all about scheduling. So we'll have dynamic pricing. So if these are just made up prices right now, but on the weekends, they'll be more expensive. If you plan out a month, it'll be less expensive. If you need it tomorrow, we're going to charge you more to get someone out there. So that's our interface for now. It's a work in progress forever. So for our go-to-market plan, we found that we have 4 customers. We have the homeowners, of course. Then we also have the service providers like me, and that's where we came into this idea. So we really want to focus on providing them great value. In the future, we're hoping to have property managers use our service as well, and even maybe incorporate into property management CRMs in order to make it easier for those property managers and get more jobs for less customers. This is our TAM SAM sum. Obviously, all home maintenance in the US, it's a $500 billion market right now, and only growing. There's only 3 billion of that right now. Mostly it's done still through word of mouth. I think like 80% is done through word of mouth. And I think we can get 2% of that market. Right now, Angie's List, Yelp, and TaskRabbit have, I think, 80% of that market. But we're going to start here in Honolulu and Southern California. This is our funnel. We're a 2-sided market, which means we have to have a funnel for both sides. It's going to be, our numbers are going to be a little easier because it's going to be cold calling. So we'll have a little bit easier time. We're also offering them, we're giving them jobs and money, so we'll have a better numbers for them. But for our reach, it's cut. I'll try to do that in our emails. Just sign up for our wait list before we launch. Answer the phone or email. For the sale, it's customers who book a job and professionals who accept the job. And a big thing is going to be retention for us. And it's making sure that we have customers that want to book another job with us and professionals who want to stay on the platform. Right now, we're focusing on growing our waiting list, which we're doing through landing pages and ads on Facebook and Meta. These are our current landing pages. We had a design specialist come in and talk to us about designing landing pages and different stuff. So I took some of her advice and used Figma to design some of these. We're going to be using 3 to 4 landing pages that will A/B test along with ads that are roughly the same style so that we keep everything coherent. I don't know why that's so low quality, but we'll be doing ads on social media, mostly Facebook. We'll keep up other social medias just to have a presence online and some credibility. Pitching wasn't really my goal from Jeff, but I really want to make it a part of my goal because I've been learning a lot about it. And so probably in the next month, we're going to reach out to as many investors as possible, mostly VCs, but some local investors, and we're going to keep applying to some startup accelerators too. Thank you.
Aloha kako. My name is Kainoa, and this is my company, Malama Marketing. We're a digital marketing company specialized in helping sustainable businesses scale their environmental impact. So the problem that most sustainable businesses face is higher costs because they have to support eco-friendly practices, and this makes it harder for them to compete with non-sustainable companies. So the solution that we're offering is to help these sustainable businesses easily integrate digital marketing so that they can boost their online presence and outcompete these non-sustainable companies. The goal for the Summer Startup Launchpad was to finish my go-to-market strategy and get 15 customer interviews. But the biggest change that I made to my company was rebranding myself from Simplified Marketing to Malama Marketing. And I felt that Malama Marketing was really aligned a lot better with my core values, mission, and vision for my company because Malama means to protect, preserve, restore, and take care of. So I had to redo my logo, and I tried to make it like a partnership in Hawaii. And then that's how I also registered an LLC, the trade name, redid my business emails, offers, messaging, and overall branding. This is my resume that I redid. And then I also created system and processes worksheets because my business is made up of a lot of systems. So that's like consistent inputs equals consistent outputs. Yeah, I'm just trying to have like consistency throughout my whole business. This is the portfolio I created. So this is some of the ads that I ran for Traverse, a solar company called Power, Flano Mortgage, and then a website that I designed. So my go-to-market strategy consisted of redoing and updating my whole business plan, creating an irresistible offer, redoing my customer profile, and then a competitive analysis. So I didn't link everything up, but I linked it all, but these are just some of the screenshots that I did, my business plan, offer, competitors, and optimal partner. So the go-to-market lessons that I learned was my unique value, but like what's gonna separate me from my competitors is incorporating like Hawaii philosophy into my strategy and my branding, because I realized that no other companies in the US are doing this. And this is like a really good way for me to separate from them. Monetization, eventually I'm gonna change to a pay-per-performance model. Weekly workflow, that's like a set routine every single week for doing my outreach and customer fulfillment. And then I learned like the opportunity to start my own digital marketing company is a really great first foundation for like, even if I don't do this for the rest of my life, it'll give me, that foundation to learn from. This is my CRM. So these are like leads and cold calls I've done. And then I'm creating like an ongoing engagement platform, which is like email follow-ups for cold leads and then email follow-ups for people that book a call. Success metrics. So my product is meta marketing at $500 per month. The channel I'm going to be doing is cold calls plus cold email follow-ups, and then 10 digital boost calls. So I recently worked on creating something I call a digital boost, which is basically a digital marketing audit where I'm going to focus on providing a lot of value. So 10 digital boost calls, and if I can do those, then I can hopefully get 1 or 2 paying clients. Outreach insights. I realized that not doing outreach is the biggest reason my business isn't growing and I can't promote sustainability or make money. And internally, I tried to really learn why is this happening? Why am I not doing outreach? And I thought it's because of the added responsibility I'm gonna have when I do start getting partners, which means less time to go surfing. So yeah, I redid my digital boost, and then I did have 5 meetings throughout the summer launchpad, and I was able to close 2 website clients for high motion and Level Window Bros. My summer launchpad key lessons was to focus obsessively on customer experience and the journey. Lean equals testing, failing, speed, succeed, and traditional is planning. The point of an MVP is to get feedback. And then customers, it's easy to get your first couple customers because that's the problem you're solving. Otherwise, you're building a product that nobody wants. And then complacency. After I did start making some money, that was enough to get by on. I decided to just relax and instead of pushing harder and make more sales. So I gotta fix that. And then my 2024 goals is to get partnered with 2 sustainable businesses on monthly retainer contracts. So I'd be booking 10 plus digital calls or digital boosts. And then I also want to be partnered with Charvaris and bring in a positive ROI when they're ready. I did meet with them and they said that, they're not ready to start running ads again right now, but hopefully we partner with them and got some legal goals. And then this is my timeline. So 2024 for me is the year of transcendence. So 2 partners paying me $1,000 a month. 2025 to 2027, hopefully having 7 dream partners, 10K recurring monthly revenue. And then 2027 and beyond will be fully productized business, time, location, and financial freedom. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you everybody for providing me feedback. And I really want to give a huge thank you to Jeff for meeting with me before and after all the mentorship meetings and really, taking the time out of his day to help all of us. So thank you.
Hello everyone. So we would like to present our project, Market. So the story is that Nam Nguyen is a middle-aged shrimp farmer in the countryside of Vietnam. He has a small shrimp farm and he does not know how much knowledge about shrimp disease. So when
Sorry, can you share screen?
oh,
Yeah, switch the screen to, yep.
So when his shrimp gets sick, he's not sure what need to do. And the vet center is far away from him. And the vet center can only test 1 or 2 diseases, which is not enough. Moreover, he has to wait at least 2 days to get the result. 2 days is mean too late because the disease will spread all over the pond. So the problem is that Vietnam is the world's 2nd largest shrimp supplier, who produce 14% of the global shrimp stock, and Vietnam has exported shrimp to more than 100 countries, including the United States. And most shrimp farming in Vietnam are small scale, family owned, and farmers have limited knowledge about shrimp disease. So the shrimp center in Vietnam are poor equipped and they can only test 1 or 2 diseases. So the solution is that we came up with the team and would like to help the farmers in Vietnam. So we built a mobile app using AI to detect the shrimp disease. So our primary target customer are the farmers who live far away from the vet centers. The farmers can upload the image and the symptoms of the shrimp into the mobile app, and then the app will tell them what kind of disease it is. So we provide higher accuracy and save time for the farmer. So we interviewed 20 people, and here's what we learned. Right? So when we interviewed 5 farmers, we learned that what we thought that the farmer will consult with the vet center, but actually the farmer who live far away from the vet center, they consult with the vet food shop, and the farmer really need a happy tool to diagnose the disease. So the farmer will be our big head market, and we need to prove that our website and app can outperform the vet food shop. We interviewed two government officials, including the Vietnam ambassador in the United States, and we see that, this is not only the big problem, but it is one of the biggest problems for the skill industry in Vietnam. And the Vietnam government, they really care about that, and they have the agricultural education and agricultural extension program. So we need to get into the program to get funding as well to be introduced to the farmers. We interviewed 6 vet students and 2 vets, and what we learned is that the vet students need to use our app when they are in the job market. So we need to have a feature to help the students to learn how to improve their diagnostic skills. And the vet, although they are afraid that our app can take their job, however, they said that if our app can help them to do their job better, for example, detecting new disease or provide statistics of cases in real time, they are willing to use it. So we come up with the solution that we need to build another version of app for the vet and the vet student. Right? We have 2 versions, one version for the farmers and one version for the vet and vet student. We interviewed 3 researchers and 2 agricultural specialists, and the researchers are concerned about our accuracy. So the impact is that we need to conduct a research and write a paper to submit to the peer-reviewed conference or the journal to prove accuracy of our app. And with the agricultural specialists, they said that at the beginning we think that the problem in Vietnam is about diagnose the existing disease. But when we interview the agricultural specialists, they said that because of the climate change and the sea level rise, nowadays in Vietnam, more and more new disease happen. So we need to include the in-context learning into our AI algorithm so we can diagnose the new disease. And this is how we build and test our AI chatbot. So at the beginning, we only have the genetic material with the disease symptom that we collected from the US government and Australia government website, and we got the accuracy rate of 65%. Then we think that we need to get more input material. So we collected disease symptoms from all the websites and forums that we can. However, because there are a lot of noise in the training material, the accuracy rate decreased to 50%. And then we come back with the disease symptom from US government and Australian government website, and we focus on specific symptoms of each disease. Then the accuracy rate until raised to 72%. And then we focus on, in stage 4, we focus on minor symptoms that can differentiate disease having the same main symptoms. And then we get the accuracy rate of 81%. And here is the prototype of our website and our chatbot. So this is our website. People can, there are 2 plans for the farmers. They can pay per use or they can pay monthly. We can click add to cart and then it comes with cost to pay. Please check out. And when they check out, they can come to the service to test, to use the AI chatbot. So here with the AI chatbot, they can come here to the, they can upload one image. And then they can describe the symptom. Here, you can see that the disease is white spot symptom. Let's see how the AI will give us the result.
I don't think it uploaded your prototype.
Already, it is working. So what kind of disease the AI will tell us. So as you can see here, the AI correctly diagnosed it as a white spot disease. Right. You can make another sample. It's number 2. And the case number 2 is the black shield disease. Let's see how the AI observes. Here you see, the answer is black queue disease. So the AI correctly diagnosed the disease. So what we have now is that we have a website, we have the AI chatbot. We presented our project at our hub workshop with many farmers, professors, researchers in attending. We have a meeting with the Vietnam ambassador, and he really liked our project. He said that our project is helpful and necessary for Vietnam. And we participate in the NSF ICOPS program, and they really like our project too. So what we do next is that we will improve accuracy. We hope to get the accuracy of about like 90%. We will integrate the in-context learning approach into the AI, so the AI can detect the new disease when it happens. And we will build the mobile app, and we will write the research paper to prove our accuracy. We try to get introduced to the agricultural education program in Vietnam, so the farmers will know us and use our app. And this is our future roadmap. We will improve accuracy until July 15, then integrate in context learning in August 15, build a mobile app by October 15, and finish writing the paper by November 15, and then get introduced to the agricultural education program in Vietnam by December 15. So, yeah, that's the end of our presentation. This is the workflow of the farmer in case that you want to see. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is David, and my project or startup that I've been working on is called Kamina Perks. So talking about some of the problems, I think you already know what's happening in Hawaii better than I do maybe. I'm not gonna go through all of these, but you can see that there's a high cost, the limited discounts, and it's not user-friendly to get the discounts when it comes to Kamina discounts and others. The tourism model is unsustainable. Tourism, when it comes to local residents, it's pretty much set aside. Some local residents miss out, and then businesses struggle. That's one thing I found out, and it's very obvious to me with the exchange rates that are maybe not favorable for tourism right now. It's definitely serious. So who are our target customers? Jeff really made sure I hone in on this. This app would have been, or website would be a dual user app, meaning it would be for customers or Kamina, working professionals, usually ranging from 20s to 60s, but also businesses, and businesses, not just all businesses, but businesses that cater to both Kamina and then tourists. I'm going to be very specific on that, but it has to be perfect target. It has to be the one that's interesting, attracting more local residents. It's usually in hospitality business. They do have either off-peak tourist seasons, or simply there's certain times that they need help, and then they care about supporting the local community, and they view Groupons, coupons, all that other stuff as bad for the brand. So the focus was Kamina discounts for the 21st century, creating an MVP, meaning minimum viable product. So the solution is a Kamina Perks website. It would offer platform for discounted rates on hotel stays, restaurants, and others. It would definitely be focused on both the customers and vendors or businesses, like I talked about. So showing you guys some of the MVP that my team has been working on. So the first is the website for customers. So it is, let's see. So it would be very simple, not look like a scam, hopefully, and somewhere where you'd be able to sign up to receive exclusive discounts into your email. Here, we're highlighting top 3 biggest discounts. There would be hotels. Then when you click on shop, you'd see more discounts here for different hotels that are being offered. This would be from Oahu specifically. And then finally, we're getting to contact in case they want to get in touch with us. And then when it comes to shopping for certain hotels, we're still working on this, but this would be adding into their cart directly and then checking out for however many nights they need. and then essentially making the purchase. Now going on to the other website, this one will be for vendors or businesses. So here again, this will be for vendors or businesses for them to kind of figure out how they can tap into more local customers to increase the demand or increase the sale, sorry. So again, they would sign up to maybe stay up to date with customer trends. We would really show them what we're here to do. Hopefully we would have enough customer base, have other businesses that care about supporting local community and their own image. And then again, have events that support the local community, maybe like charity events or volunteering, not only for the business, but for customers, bringing everyone closer together. So some of the about, again, contact, cart, still trying to figure out how to monetize everything, but I'm gonna go back to the presentation for now. So now moving on to customer discovery. So the total people interviewed and key findings. Total people interviewed, if you count all the interviews, meaning the ones that are not from here, and that might be just front desk workers or workers, that's 18. However, we narrowed it down to 11. I've done 7 myself, and these would be partners, businesses, owners, and then people that actually like are in charge of those calls, like director of sales and director of marketing. So as you see, we try to target, diversified range of businesses with maybe a little bit of emphasis on restaurants. So here, I think this is perhaps the most important slide. I'm not going to walk through every single item, but it is obvious that our product is being shaped according to the interviews. The top 3 recurring themes are boosting revenue and foot traffic. Businesses definitely need our help when it comes to off-season hours and then certain hours during a day when the business is not thriving. The community engagement and local support is something that stood out to me as a recurring theme. Businesses actually do even have in their business plans to support the local community, but they just might not have a platform or don't know how to do that exactly. They don't have time. Another one is tech and promotion sensitivity. It has to be easy to use. A lot of businesses are out there running around, busy doing operation stuff. They do not have time to deal with maybe marketing or discounts or coupons or tracking it, there's millions of platforms out there for a lot of businesses that are using. And when it comes to promotion sensitivity, that's another one that stood out to me as a recurring theme. Groupon is a bad for brand. That was directly from Four Seasons director of sales. We do not do Groupon because it's bad for a brand. We don't really like to do that. Similarly, for Sticks Asia, the people in charge running that entire center, which is 15 restaurants or so, said, yeah, we don't really like to list, or I tell the businesses not to list 15% and 10% off combined discount outside or inside a store, because what happens when the tourists come in, they see that and they're questioning, usually they leave. They say, why do I have a different menu for customer, that's local versus tourist? So that's a big issue that stood out too. So when it came to Brandy, which is a director of sales, it is obvious that there's off-peak business hours, or sorry, seasons, and that they definitely do want to maintain that professional image. Sticks Asia, again, in charge of roughly 15 restaurants, does care about, promoting, obviously, to locals to go there, eat there, especially during certain hours that are really weak, which is usually morning and lunch. Evenings are usually busy. But again, the negative impact of the discounts or coupons out there is fairly significant. So that's something that's going to have to shape what we're doing. Hooray Donut, again, kind of struggles, closed one of their locations because of staffing issues, et cetera. Cares about maybe having certain hours or having at least flexible pricing models as opposed to just provide a discount out there for a roll pack and just take a charge of everything. When it comes to Village Bottle Shop, again, cost effective is a big theme. And for specific hours, maybe, for example, every Monday between 5 to 9, maybe you'll get $1 off of every beer or wine. So that's something that he does not have, basically. He does not know how to do that. The Face Shop Hawaii is a beauty place where there's some concerns that analytics are needed, sorry. And again, driving store traffic is important. And then finally, customer or working pro, someone like myself or you guys, cares actually about website more than app. Why to download an app that, I have to take space, figure out how to use it, and cares about minimum 10%, ideally 20%. So some of the plan and goals for end of the summer, continue the product development, market validation, figure out, is testing wise, is this good or is this bad? And then to me, the most important is team building, because I feel slammed and overwhelmed myself, is find critical team roles and make sure they actually work, just like myself, especially if they're equity owners like me. Customer acquisition, by the end of the year, I'd like to have 50. It's fairly obvious to me that I at least have 20 that are interested. So bringing it to 50 would be very important to kind of get the customer base as well. Platform refinement, definitely continue working on the website. And then revenue generation, develop and implement monetization strategies. I figured out this is key to onboarding these businesses that care about, cost effectiveness as well. So with that, thank you very much.
I'm representing Feynman, and what we are is we are right now just a vision, but what we want to be eventually is an iOS and Android-based mobile application plus web application that facilitates engaging video lesson content at a very affordable cost. And how we do that is by turning textbooks into engaging video lessons. So by using the professional tools of filmmaking, we want to turn textbooks into the most engaging adaptation that possible. And so the problem, how it started, how I envisioned this was, there were two things. I want to start from the second one. So in Nepal, what happens is there are two school systems. There are the private schools and the public schools. And this is true for most of South Asian countries, including India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. And what happens is the quality of education delivered in these two kind of schools are vastly different. And the outcomes are even more disparate, like even a small, so that's what I mean by saying even a small disparity in education among children can result in huge difference in inequalities later in the society. So the innovation in education was long overdue. Especially in places like Nepal, the Victorian style education, lecture-based, coming to the class and teacher just telling, it's all dependent on the teacher how they deliver it, or it's dependent on the book that's been given. So we can't change. Sorry. So it was not possible. So let me just take you through the Nepal's education system, right? So there are 7.4 million schools and 6 million public school students and 1.4 million private school students. That's around 1:5. So 81% of them are in public schools, and just 20%. And this statistics is almost equal in India as well. You just need to multiply this number by around 50 times. So it's a huge disparity in education. So one group of kids are going into better schools, and a huge chunk of kids are not going to be getting the same quality of education that they deserve. So, and the debate that generally is they generally criticize the private sector by saying that, okay, we need to stop the agenda in the political sphere is generally what they say. We need to curb down the private schools. We should stop down the private schools. It should be public. It should be made public. All the private schools need to be stopped. So that kind of debate. But that's not the solution. That's what I thought. That cannot be solution. We cannot bring down the quality of education to make it equal. So the only way to make the educational delivery equal was by not thinking about it as one education for all, but as the best possible education for all. That's the only way we could reduce the gap in divide between the private schools and the public schools. And how do we want to do that? Like, we can't. So how do we want to do that is we cannot change every particular resource in the school, but what we can do is we can change the textbooks that are being taught in the school into videos. Because these videos, if we can turn them into engaging video lessons, even the private schools have to get there because they are the best possible adaptation of the textbooks. What happens is they will have to want that content as well, because it will be impossible for one particular school to produce those contents on their own. So adapting the textbooks to videos would mean like we'd be able to reduce the gap between the private schools and the public school education system. And how we want to do this is by using the professional filmmaking tools and turning a textbook into script, and then from there on to storyboard, and then produce a video out of it, and turn it into a very engaging video lesson. So I like to call this like the video alone is not enough, but what I want is a platform that the video can be delivered on, which has I want where the video can be, the platform has to be scalable, that there shouldn't be much marginal cost attached, because the cost is going to be a big factor, because the public schools won't be able to afford it. So so videos can be scaled, so there's very little cost of adding an extra customer. It has to be connected. The kids need to be able to connect with each other, with teachers, with live tutors. So there has to be a connected platform. And it has to be engaging the video lessons and personalized learning with generative AI and machine learning. We can make personalized learning pathways for kids. So as part of the summer launchpad goals, one of the goals that one of the goals that I had was to build this storyboard. So I wanted to make a video, but it was not possible within the time frame that we had. So I wanted to turn a textbook lesson into a video. So that's my goal for later on. So instead of that, we did a storyboard of how we can teach measurement, and I made 21 frames. I found out stories and weaved them together and turned it into a script, and it's for grade 6. And then based on those scripts, I turned them into a storyboard, and I turned it into 22 frames, and these were the storyboard. And another part of the goal of the summer launchpad was 15 interviews that I had to do, and one of the most important part was this interview. So on the build part of it, I contacted 2 animation and production studios in Nepal, the Jazz Studios and Paradigm Studios. They said, so I wanted to make a 5-minute video lesson on my measurement. So I gave them a sample video of what I wanted, and it was an animation heavy video. And they said it's going to cost around $7,000 to $9,000 on one of them said, and the other said it's going to cost you $6,000. So it's a little higher than what I had initially presumed, but they might have presumed that I'm calling from America, so I might be able to pay. So but I think when I get down to the road, it's going to be a lot cheaper than that. So I contacted other technology platform companies who produce apps and everything. So Leapfrog Technology. So they said the platform that I want to build is going to cost upwards of $15,000, but they said the prices are going to largely vary depending upon the kind of features that we're going to add. We also contacted research partners in Kathmandu University School of Education. They work with disabled special schools, and they said they would let us run videos as a pilot test in multiple government-run special schools. And we contacted certain NGOs as well to see whether funding might be available. There's UNDP Small Grants Program that I contacted. They said the fundings are available annually, and they fund around 60 to 70 projects of ranging around $40,000 to $70,000. But their niche is generally lies in like global environment fund. So they wanted me to make videos around environment science books. And the most important learning was from, I would come back to school principal later on. So the most important learning was from the My Second Teacher platform. So they were, so what happened was they're already making the videos. They have 3,500 videos made already. And then, but the problem was they are a little expensive, and they are having a hard time attracting schools to their platform, because they've only been able to attract 22 schools in 3 years in being in service in Nepal, and these are the 22 schools. And the reason why they've not been able to do it is because the CDC, the Curriculum Development Board, Curriculum Development Committee of Nepal is not being friendly with them. They don't want to let go of their grip on the control of the curriculum, and they say they're putting hurdles on their pathway. So based on this, and the interview with the school principal showed that the cost of my second teacher was I interviewed 3 school principals, and one was from who had already adapted my second teacher, one who had been approached but didn't take the platform, and one who didn't know about it, my second teacher platform. And the major hurdle was the one who had adapted was part of my second teacher platform team as well, so they had very good things to say about it. But the other one was about the cost. So that would add, adapting to my second teacher would add 25% of the cost. So how is it different? We provide low cost platform, and that and we don't want to change the curriculum. So we want to be based on local curriculum, and we want to give the education the platform at 50 cents a month or $2.25 a month per teacher. And what we want to do is provide equal access to education for everybody in the quality education. Moving forward, we'd like to build a prototype by the end of November. Is a video and do a pilot test. Thank you.
Quick clarification. So my second teacher is your competitor.
Yeah, competitive.
Right. So I understood that part. And you're saying that they were throwing roadblocks up.
Yeah, seriously.
Why are you going to be different?
So the difference is going to be in the sense that what I've learned from what they've done is they did not exactly match CDC's guidelines. So CDC does not want to let go of the grip on the content manufacturer. They are the ones who produce books right now. So if we have to succeed in Nepal, we'll have to work along with CDC. We'll have to partner with CDC in producing this content for them. So we cannot be. CDC is the Curriculum Development Committee in Nepal. Yeah. So we'll have to partner with NGOs, and get into CDC's pathway and then work with them. We cannot go separate from them.
Why Nepal?
So I'm from Nepal, and I saw the platform in Nepal. So Nepal was first case because there was private school and public school system. The idea was to reduce the divide between this school children. And there's future potential of getting into India as well and other South Asian countries because the education system is almost same. There's private and public schools, and there's a huge divide in education quality.
So what stopped your editor from just doing all the things that you said you're going to do?
That almost, my second teacher almost had, after the interview with my second teacher, I almost had like an existential crisis for this project because like they're already doing it. They have like 3,500 videos already made, but in 3 years they've just been able to go to 22 schools, and that's a really low number. And they say like they have 15,000 freemium members, but that's just the number of students that they got from the schools that they partnered with. So out of the 29,000 schools, 22 schools is nothing in that context as well.
So the thing to keep in mind is that's your competitor in Nepal.
In Nepal, yeah.
I mean, there are all these people that are creating, more digitized content in the world that could then adapt it to Nepal. So that also is your competitor.
Yes.
Right? They
Yes.
just haven't gotten through Nepal
Yes.
yet, probably because the market is really small.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to think about, it seems like the CDC is pretty powerful.
Yes.
Is how do you localize content? How do you get in there so that some other generic company that's thinking the same exact idea in India can't come into Nepal?
Exactly. So localization is the key word there. Like if you can't localize the content, then you won't be able to do it. So localization will be the key aspect of being there, and you have to work closely with CDC. If you want to work in Nepal, that's not going to happen other way. So we can see that from my second teachers. So they followed the CDC's guideline. They've passed through 14 quality checks that the education board puts on the contents and everything, but they're not being able to get do it. So you'll have to work with the CDC from the beginning itself.
I mean, I see it kind of like educate, right? It's like you're enhancing the classroom experience for them. I mean, I think it's a great idea. There's so many reasons why more enhancements have not been done, especially with the internet and the accessibility issue. There are a lot of reasons, right? CDC is one, unions are another, in the United States, it's just a new model, but I do think that that's where the future is in education.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a there.
Yeah, it's there with generative AI as well coming in through. So the key lies in localizing the content. So why can't Khan Academy come and do it in Nepal? Because it will be very hard for them to localize the content. Like they'll have to remake all of the features for Nepal. So because they've not designed it in a way, the difference that we can do is we can see this as a potential opportunity in the sense that if we create videos in modules and that can be later on used and scaled and turned it into localized platform wherever we go, like if we're going to Indonesia or India, and turn those modules into the local platform, then there's a chance we can scale this as well to other countries.
Great.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, we're Team OmniVocab, and I'm Ryan, this is Sage, and that's Josiah. We see a lot of familiar faces. And oops. Our problem that we've been working on is language learning. As many of you probably know, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, and many people give up before they've really made any true progress. And so we interviewed a lot of people and found 4 main pain points, including no access to other speakers, it's boring and monotonous. A lot of times existing language learning methods don't offer good immediate feedback. And finally, they don't have access to immersive environments, which is really key for learning a language.
So our solution to shortening the time it takes to learn a language is through VR and AI. So through VR, you can simulate a different environment, such as a different country or like a classroom setting or whatever you can really think of. And through the power of AI, we can simulate native speakers and recreate different types of scenarios, such as grocery clerks, just locals crossing the street, and through that you can practice with them at your different language level. Now the first demo that we're about to show you is a shortened version of the one we showed at the venture competition. So the same concept where the AI tutor is giving you a task to find some type of object. You look around the room, you find it, you bring it to the instructor, and you present it with some type of phrase like, here's the cup. And depending on like the language you use, or if you're incorrect or not, it can tell you, oh, you messed up on this. This is how you fix it. This is little grammar errors, and this is how you should really say it. Or if you get it right, you could say, oh, good job. Here's the next thing you have to find. And that's the step.
Hola. Vamos a jugar un juego de búsqueda del tesoro donde te pediré que me traigas diferentes objetos. Para empezar, ¿cuál es tu cosa favorita para beber para el desayuno? Por favor, tráemelo.
Estela Coffee.
Thank you for bringing the coffee. Used a couple of corrections. You mentioned esta la café, which seems to be an attempt to say this is the coffee. In Spanish, it would be more accurately phrased as este es el café. Remember, este is used for masculine nouns like café and is from the verb ser is used for definitive statements about identity. Let's try again. ¿Cuál es tu desayuno favorito para comer? Por favor, tráemelo.
So that was our first demo, and we're pretty proud of it, but virtual reality takes a lot of time and effort to develop. It's not an easy thing to do. So in order to make this demo, of course, you can see we weren't able to get a 3D model in, and additionally, those were pre-programmed responses in order to accommodate what we were going to say, which is not exactly something you can, bring forward to the public. So we wanted to firstly develop a 3D model that we can, feel a little bit more like we're interacting with a real human. And additionally, we wanted to, make it really integrated so that you can say whatever you want to it. It can respond to not just what's your favorite breakfast food, but it can really understand you, provide feedback, and that's what we've done for our next demo. Hi there. How do you say "where's the bathroom" in Spanish?
You can say "¿Dónde está el baño?" in Spanish. Is there anything else you'd like to learn?
Thank you. Can you ask me a question in Spanish?
Claro. Aquí tienes una pregunta. ¿Cuál es tu comida favorita?
Pues mi comida favorita es hamburguesas. Estoy bien. ¿Y tú?
Me alegro de escuchar eso. ¿Hay algo en particular con lo que quieras practicar tu español?
Yo quiero hablar sobre las películas.
Por supuesto. ¿Qué tipo de películas te gustan? ¿Y qué película has visto recientemente que te haya gustado?
Me encanta todos los tipos. ¿Y tú cuál es tu tipo favorito?
Personalmente, me gusta el cine de ciencia ficción. Hay algo mágico en explorar lo desconocido y ver posibles futuros. ¿Has visto alguna película de ciencia ficción que te gustaría discutir?
So the point of the two different demos is that the first one was more of a bilingual, like if you're more of a beginner and you don't know all the words, but you're kind of familiar, so it can go back and forth, even corrections in English. And then the second one is more intermediate, where it's the AI is more like Spanish only. So it's more, I don't know, in terms like, it's more advanced and more natural to speak in your target language. But this is what we have right now. We actually recorded it like 1 hour ago. So after, we can probably test it out if you guys wanted to in the back. But as far as MVP, I would say that we made a lot of progress. Thanks to the sage for showing us like the plugin and stuff. But we came from our final demo from the venture competition to now. We would say we're basically there with the product to show and develop into a game.
And so now we'll talk a little about our interview findings. So for our Launchpad, we kind of wanted to explore maybe other things in language learning, maybe training or maybe other aspects of how VR might be useful. And so for our first interview, Anoop, he's a Google development researcher. He found that the current success in VR and AI mostly currently is targeting accessibility problems and making things more allowing more users to use VR and even things like maybe disabilities. And so our next interview, Emily Fukunaga, Serve co-VP of Parts and Center. She was kind of more interested in the XR app that would allow technicians to disassemble like parts and memorize like maybe different models of vehicles. And then our next is Gio Pilar, who's an architecture, and he owns his own firm. He was kind of hesitant and said that VR, there's plugins for VR for models that architectures use, but there isn't really a use for it, and the only use for it that he can see is really showing customers of how the project would look and scaling it to their human size instead of models. And next slide. So for our next interview, Giorgio Tran, who is a UH Lava Lab, and the Lava Lab uses AI and VR for data visualization. And some of his comments was the VR experience needs to be the inconvenience of the headset itself, and to don't overbuild and prevent creating new problems. And one of his main concerns that when I presented him with our MVP was that data security with the AI and the memorization of the conversations. And Jesse Thompson, who is the Jabson VR Anatomy, he also had a couple of startups that was in VR, and he had the problem of switching to XR apps too, that saying that the VR space is very limited, and we maybe need to think about having users be able to at least test the AI bot on their phone and what the difference is, and kind of relaying stuff to like how it needs to beat the inconvenience of the headset. And some comments is the military turned down the VR HoloLens company because of the return on investment wasn't very high for them. And although this may play a part in our next slide, the NSI and Foundry intro session, which I attended, they focus on phase 0 DoD development in tech, and it's a 5-month cohort that matches DoD technologies with entrepreneurs that assess market viability and commercialization. And I thought that made sense because it was technically born from the NSIN. So yeah, and to the next slide, moving forward, our first step, I guess, would be to make an LLC, but after that, we really want to focus on the development of our game and our app. So multiplayer, item interactivity, gamification, and publishing to the MetaQuest store. And thank you.
Question, your interviews is like language learning one aspect of your VR, because all of your interviews they have to do with language, it seemed, or whether they would be interested in a VR language. So are you creating a platform or something that you could create other VR models?
So we kind of realized that VR language learning is like kind of a limited market. So we thought about expanding and kind of maybe pivoting our project to maybe training or XR development. But we thought after discussing with the team, we kind of was pretty confident in continuing the VR language learning aspect of it.
We feel most confident right now moving forward doing the development ourselves with language learning because that's a little bit easier than making all these interactive parts that you might find in an engine or something. So we feel that might be a future stage for us when we have more resources and are more established.
Yes, that was the assignment, though, right? To investigate other industries to see if they were viable or not.
Yeah, your demo is the second is a lot better than what I saw in the bench competition.
Thank you.
And so we can all try it on today.
Yeah, we brought a headset. It's loaded up.
Right.
Yeah.
Questions? Right. What do you guys?